OriginieSounds. Bang bang receipt gang.
Ho ho ho!
Would you look at this? Would somebody please look at this? Now you Huskies mean to tell me that you got the nerve to want to talk to us about erasure, the aboriginal of everything. And you ain't gonna say nothing about how the fuck did the Pilgrims become the Indians? Would you look at this? Will somebody please look at this? Goddamn, I mean, check it out. Look it up online right now. Bang bang receipt gang.
OriginieSounds.
Yeah, another session of exposing. Yeah, they in on it too. Native American Masons? They don't look like Indians to me.
Let's bring them on with a warm round of applause. Again, I feel honored to be among my brothers and my sisters, and more honored to be here because of our grandfather, Elijah Muhammad, and more honored to be here because of our grandfather, Elijah Muhammad.
And more honored to be here because of our grandfather, Elijah Muhammad. Our grandfather, Elijah Muhammad.
And through grandfather Elijah Muhammad, he has brought us Minister Louis Farrakhan. And through Brother Farrakhan, the black and the red nations have joined together.
Are the ones, we would call them house Negroes. When I call them house Negroes, I use the word K-N-E-E-G-R-O, because what they do is they work on behalf of white supremacy against their own people. And at the same time, win the people's trust in their leadership. In other words, you're being deceived.
OriginieSounds, part of exposing divine nine and boo.
I overheard some Christians speak about doing the boule, going to do boule. Exactly what is boule?
The boule is a fraternity that was started by black men, patterned after the white version of Skull and Bones. And the boule are the ones, we would call them house Negroes. When I call them house Negroes, I use the word K-N-E-E-G-R-O, because what they do is they work on behalf of white supremacy against their own people. And at the same time, win the people's trust in their leadership. In other words, you're being deceived. Living in America, either you're gonna work for somebody or you're gonna work for yourself. Malcolm X did a speech in the early 60s called Message to the Grassroots. In this speech, he mentioned the big six civil rights leaders, and they all had two things in common. They were all Boule, and they were all Masons. Now, why is that? Is that a coincidence? Because that's how they practice. The NAACP, the Urban League, was founded in 1909 by white folks and Jews. But for some reason, black people think they were founded by black people on behalf of black people. That's not true. In other words, they just want to control your problems. The conflict that you have with this system, they want to manipulate you and influence you and control you by you thinking that you got some organization that's in your corner when it's in fact not. The same people that created the Federal Reserve Bank, the same people that created the League of Nations that eventually became the United Nations, the same people that created the Council on Foreign Relations are the same people that created the NAACP and the Urban League, the Boule. These people are deceivers. A lot of preachers, I hate to say it, the devil have preachers. The devil has ministers. In other words, the devil masquerades as an angel of light, and his ministers masquerade as the angels of the ministers of righteousness. So just because you feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, giving shelter to the homeless, that don't mean you are a child of God.
If you will. And the emasculation, just the look and what they do to join these organizations. You know, some may find this funny, but to me this is disturbing, and this tells a lot how these organizations have been around for hundreds of years, and what do they have to show for it?
Anything that, when you think about Omega Psi Phi, the one thing that we're associated with is excellence. We're constantly striving to be great. One of the things that I'm popular for saying is that I'm great because I
After witnessing a fellow Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority sister become Vice President of the United States.
Seeing that she came from our Alpha chapter, and that's where our founders started, it really just made it at whole to see that our organization is a strong unit.
Of the illustrious founder of Omega Psi Phi. Of the illustrious founder of Omega Psi Phi.
Elected its first black senator, and America sent a black woman to the White House, both members of the Divine Nine.
If you guys understand the history of Greeks and African people, you know, Greeks, the Roman civilization, they slaughtered black people. So joining these quote unquote black letter, Greek letter fraternities and sororities is really equivalent to a black man or a woman joining the KKK. Joining these quote unquote black letter, Greek letter fraternities and sororities is really equivalent to a black man or a woman joining the KKK.
Joining these quote unquote black letter, Greek letter fraternities and sororities is really equivalent to a black man or a woman joining the KKK.
That's what it comes down to. It's equivalent to joining the KKK because of the history of the mistreatment, execution, and complete annihilation of black people from the hands of Greeks. But the problem is it happened thousands and thousands of years ago, right? In comparison to what the dominant white society did in the last, well, they'll continue to do it today, but the overt racism of black people by the dominant white society was more recent in comparison to what Greek civilization did against black people. But again, it's like I said, it's equivalent to a black male or a black woman joining the KKK. All right, and you guys already know, the dominant white society, racist white supremacy would never allow a black man or woman to join the KKK or any white supremacist organization, period. Back in the day, black people wanted to be a part of these Greek letter fraternities, right? During the Jim Crow era, et cetera, et cetera. They wanted to be a part of these Greek letter fraternities and sororities, et cetera. The dominant white society wouldn't accept them. So what did black people do? They started their own black organizations for sororities, right? For fraternities. Black Greek letter organizations were born. That basically birthed the sororities and fraternities, which you guys call the Divine Nine.
President Joe Biden invited about 400 people to watch him commemorate Black History Month, where he said Black history matters, and he also said this.
And by the way, I'm not, I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. I know where the power is. I know where you think I'm joking. I learned a long time ago about the Divine Nine.
Yes, you heard him right. He gave credit to the Divine Nine while saying that he may be white, but he is not stupid.
The Divine Nine is, you got the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, the Kappa Alpha Psi, the Omega Psi Phi, Delta Sigma Theta, Phi Beta Sigma, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Gamma Rio, and Iota Phi Theta fraternities. Those are the Divine Nine.
This right here was over a decade ago, probably 12 years ago. I know some of y'all may say I still look exactly the same. And not only did I participate in the hazing process, but I also pledged people. I was what you call the DP. That's me right there. And DP, if you don't know what that is, that's the Dean of Pledges. So that means that you're primarily responsible for bringing over an entire line. Let's go to the period that was called the Hellenistic period. So you call yourself the Pan-Hellenic Council, but the Hellenistic period was the worst period for African people, because it's during this period when Alexander came into Africa, 332 BC, and conquered Egypt.
Now you go study, you look up that word boule, B-O-U-L-E, and you'll find out this is what most of these supposedly civil rights people belong to. And when I give you this understanding, you will know why we never get anything accomplished.
But the premise of them were founded around white supremacy. It's called the illusion of inclusion.
OriginieSounds Bang Bang Receipt Gang.
Bruh. Bruh.
Look, I'm a life member of Alpha Phi Alpha.
Thank you.
Well, first and foremost, you talk about a sense of brotherhood, and so that's what's the most important thing.
The fraternity brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha in Long Beach, California.
Fathers, forgive us for we have sinned.
These are pretty bad. I mean, when you sent this to me originally, I could not believe it. I honestly could not believe it.
Yeah, it's and you can kind of see, like, if you, I don't know if you can zoom in, but on that left picture, you can almost see like a big handprint, like
You just did it. Then when you find out what it is, you find out the ritual they had to do to cross the burning sands.
Like tear you down to build you back up.
Break you down to build you up.
Broken down to be built back up.
People always say they break you down to build you up.
That's what they do at set. They curse at you. They call you names. You're good for nothing. You'll never become a Zeta. You'll never become an AKA, whatever. And they beat you down to build you up.
Did you know in Nigeria and other places in West Africa have secret societies who now operate off campus as well? Often with members who never went to university. Roland was a first-year student when he joined the Buccaneers, a secret illegal student society in Nigeria. A brutal initiation ritual was held late at night in the forest. Older members, singing, dancing and drinking, formed a ring around him and other blindfolded initiates, beating them severely until the early hours of the morning. The ritual was supposedly to purge the initiates of weaknesses and instill bravery in them. The moment you go in there and come out, you are a different person, Roland told the BBC.
Let's talk about hazing. Hazing is something that happens when you join a fraternity or sorority. It's a way to form like a trauma bond between everyone else that's joining that fraternity or sorority with you, your pledge class. And the big thing about it is you're supposed to trust the people that are hazing you and trust that they are building you into the best version of yourself, I guess. Hazing can range from making someone binge drink until they vomit, to making someone write your papers, making someone do your dishes, bringing someone a piece of gum every day for their 8 a.m. class. Typically, you don't say no to whoever's hazing you. Like, you can, but you shouldn't if you know it's good for you.
Because that's something they do at a lot of the black fraternities, right?
Yeah.
How do they do it?
For Q dogs? They do the same thing, but you know you're only supposed to tap it. You tap it on there and you release it, because it's already gonna burn the skin with a quick tap. No, they literally almost got to his heart, man.
Witchcraft, bro.
Yeah.
I mentioned that 3 of the killers from the Memphis Police Department were members of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity. But it's making us really look into Pandora's box, because we're looking at what we call root causes. And it's Willie Lynn Science 101, because we will do worse to our own than they will do to us. And it makes us think of the movie Django.
I say to articulate, when I get out like an idiot, when I get close to represent, that's what we know. Without further ado, I should give you time. Time is 3 ticks, 2 times.
I was the number 9. So the 9s that came in the line like before me, that pledged before me, they would be the ones that would be on me, like calling and stuff, and they would have my number. They would have like you know, if you did something or if they felt that you talked to them disrespectful, if you didn't call them big sister, you got to write 5-page long papers talking about how you're disrespectful. And on top of that, you got to go do house visits. So house visits is like when you go meet up with big sisters that are just in town. It's you and like 2 or 3 other people with you. And mind you, you could never be by yourself. If they ever caught you on campus by yourself, they would kidnap you. Like on top of that, like not even the Deltas, but like if the Qs, which was the brother fraternity of us, caught us, they could kidnap us. And then they would have to call your license. They would have to come get you. They could do whatever, you know what I mean, to you. Like, you know, you have to get in the cut, which I mean like take licks. everything. They smile wipe you. They do this thing where they make you sit in Delta chair, which is basically like squats. They sit on you. They spit on you. They hit, you know what I mean?
Spit on you?
Hair. Yeah. You know, we would eat dog food. They sit on you. They spit on you. They hit, you know what I mean?
Spit on you?
Hair. Yeah. You know, we would eat dog food. They sit on you. They spit on you. They hit, you know what I mean?
Spit on you?
Hair. Yeah. You know, we would eat dog food. I mean, the most demeaning, disgusting stuff that you could ever imagine. We would do this thing called.
So I want to talk about this because I'm telling you all, this is why it's the way it is. And as much as we want to point our finger as what whites have done, and they've done some things, but the majority of what has been done to us has been by the black gatekeepers. The majority of what has been done to us has been by the black gatekeepers.
Hey, boy, ice cold, the black and gold. Hey, boy.
Yo, baby, yo. Hey. Let's go. Ladies watching me.
So what does it actually say when we sit here and we're sending black kids to school to get an education and parents are bringing them home in coffins?
Cans, paddles, hanger. We were paddled, we were beaten, we were kicked, we were punched.
And we were punched, kicked, slapped. My nose began to bleed at one point.
They went to 3 different universities, but all had similar experiences.
Former fraternity president spoke to Ron Jones last night about Lewis's legacy.
John is a member of our Distinguished Service Chapter, which is the highest honor you can get at Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And he's a congressman, he's a national figure, and he is very active in our organization.
Witnessing a fellow Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority sister become vice president of the United States.
Told you witches and warlocks, you fucking with the right one. Part 2 coming soon.
OriginieSounds.
We was here before the white man
yes,
got here?
Yes, definitely.
The black people, they weren't brought over by slaves. They are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans. They don't come from Africa. They were already here.
Come on. The average Native American was this brother's complexion at the turn of the century. We're talking about the 1900s. What is the base stock of humans in this hemisphere? It was Olmec. We have a variation of history. Some of us did, but no, to lump all of us in as African American in the particular aspect of to say African American is a falsehood.
So you saying we was here before the white man
yes,
got here?
Yes, definitely. Well, how would you constitute? How would you constitute the Olmecs? Blackfoot. You see what I'm saying? So no, that's another history. That's another history that we were here, and the whole concept of not only us. So that whole African American thing is to omit. You see, the indigenous black man of this particular land too. What's
Go into a country, plague the whole place out, and then take over their buildings. New York was already there for thousands of years. San Francisco was there for thousands of years. Los Angeles was there for thousands of years. They were built by the indigenous people who were black and Indians as well. Whoa. The black people, they are the original owners of America. Black people, African Americans, they were already here, and they plagued them out. And they stole the Smithsonian Institute, which is Jesuit controlled, stole their knowledge, stole their history, and now we're just left wondering who we are, where we come from, where we're going. We don't know anything.
So you saying we was here before the white man
Yes,
got here?
yes, definitely. Definitely before
Black people, African Americans. They don't come from Africa. They were already here.
OriginieSounds. Message to Negroes with
Showtime.
Stockholm Syndrome.
My question to you simple Simon Negroes is, who stood with you back in the era when this was going on? Was there any Palestinians in the street of Palestine or Israelis in the street of Israel? You know what I'm saying? Standing abreast with you talking about, yeah, the Europeans are over there stealing those people's land and they're hanging them and burning them. And yeah, help them, help them. You motherfuckers running around here in America, mad at motherfuckers talking about we ain't supporting you. Hey man, fuck all that. Ain't nobody supported us and still ain't supporting us from being oppressed. Any brown motherfucker on the face of the earth, and I ain't got nothing to do with no Kaiser, no Ashkenazi, and no nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You understand? And the biggest enemy to an Aboriginal is a European liberal.
The world's going to Hades in a handbasket. We are desperately concerned about the circumstance relating to avian flu. We don't have enough vaccines. We don't have enough police officers. And we're going to debate the next 3 weeks, I'm told, gay marriage, a flag amendment, and God only knows what else. I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law, the Defense of Marriage Act, where we've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman and states must respect that. Where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman and states must respect that. Where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman and states must respect that.
Where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman and states must respect that.
Nobody's violated that law. There's been no challenge to that law. Why do we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage is between a man and a woman.
This is for the people. Wake the fuck up. Use your mind. Don't let people tell you the fuck what to think. This is dumb shit. Okay, I'm old dude. I'm against all this name change shit. You know, I'm like supposed to be cisgender, right, instead of man. But then it's like, oh no, you're cisgender. Fuck you. If you want me to respect your trans shit, then respect my man shit. Same thing with the trans shit. All right, you're a girl. You're a guy, a trans woman. You're a guy. Now something happened in your groin area. You know this shit is fucked up. You got to go to the doctor. And you got 10 minutes. Go this way. You go to gynecologist. This way is urologist. Which fucking way you going? You go to gynecologist, your ass is dead. Because she said, I can't do shit for you. You got to go to the urologist. Now that's 20 minutes away now. You dead. Bruh. That's the bullshit. I ain't buying into the bullshit. People talking about believe my shit because I believe it. You know? Fuck that shit? Yeah, that's the shit that I'm your master. So whenever you call me, my pronoun is your master. Or just master. So he said, hey, master, yeah, that's it. If you want me to call you her or him and shit.
What?
The
OriginieSounds all skinfolk ain't
This is the
kinfolk.
reason why Jesse ain't done nothing. Al ain't done nothing. These are 33rd degree Freemasons. How they gonna do something when they are in position to manage you? It's the Black Greek fraternities, and these that was formed in Howard University, and a lot of those famous black universities. It's also part of the Prince Hall Masons and the Elks. These are the secret societies in the hood that you don't even know that they here. And let me bless you for real. The real power of this is in the church. See, a lot of these preachers are in these secret societies, and that's why they can't preach anything. Their job is not to enlighten you. Their job is to house you. It is to pacify you. It is to give you a good feeling about your suffering, but never cause you to say there is a reason behind this. These are your councilmen. And
OriginieSounds. Showtime. Oh boy.
I hope we do have a young lady at some point become President of the United States. I can tell you how I think it will happen, because it won't happen in the normal course of events. Either the Republican or Democrat political party will nominate a man for president and a woman for vice president. And the woman and man will win. So you'll end up with a president, a male, and a vice president, a female. And in that term of office of the president will die. And the woman will become president under the law or constitution. And once that barrier is broken, from then on, men better be careful, because they'll have a hard time ever even getting a nomination in the future. But that's the way it's going to happen. But that's the way it's going to happen. But that's the way it's going to happen. But that's the way it's going to happen.
AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's, first of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence. But ultimately what it is it's about machine learning. It's about machine learning. And so the machine is taught. And part of the issue here is what information is going into the machine that will then determine, and we can predict then, if we think about what information is going in, what then will be produced in terms of decisions and opinions that may be made through that process, through that process, through that process, through that process.
OriginieSounds. Bang Bang Receipt Gang.
Howdy ho, motherfuckers. Showtime, oh boy. Just look at the motherfucking earlobes, man. Just look at the earlobes. What happens? Does your body change or something when you get old? Look at the earlobes. These motherfuckers ain't the same person. That's what's wrong with you. Black Negro Americans, aka aboriginals of the entire plane of existence, that you can't even tell that these two ain't the same motherfucking person. You dig? And this is a alert to my veterans. The transnational gangs are now bringing IEDs across the southern border. Strap up, prepare, protect your families. Bang Bang Receipt Gang. This is an actor. Look at the earlobes, man.
OriginieSounds.
Because we lazy. We lazy. And we want to follow some damn body. I wouldn't follow nobody to the fucking bathroom. But we are addicted to this thing. And you follow these niggas for 10, 20 years and you look up and you find out they ain't shit, but you can't get out because you're all socialized in it. You done put up all your money. You done talk shit to all your friends on how they fucked up. And they little shit they doing ain't no good. And so you can't get out now. So you stay on and on and on with all these old bullshit ass leaders. I don't follow nobody. If I don't follow the white man, you know I ain't gonna follow his invention. A nigger was a bad invention. Niggers and flies. One spread filth and one spread lies. The more I hang around niggers, the more I like flies. Y'all crazy as hell following somebody. If you can read a
OriginieSounds.
Life ain't been the
Show
same,
some
bro.
love,
Y'all
brother
getting
love.
300 kilos a month, man. Balling, man.
Come on.
I swear on you, and I bet your motherfucking ass, and all the heat and thunder coming around with your motherfucking ass. You know I was in fucking jail, nigga. You ain't throw a nigga a noodle. You ain't said shit or keep you here or nothing. It seem like you just leave your people for dead, man. That shit wrong, dude. That's some bullshit. That ain't cool, dude.
See, I'm gonna be all right. I got villas in Brazil, Tahiti, East Hampton, West Hampton.
God damn.
I own 20 kookaroos.
What the fuck? Throw a dog a bone or something. Fuck. Brother love, come show some love. Show some love, brother love. Throw my kids something. Throw somebody kids something. God damn.
I got 6 fucking kids.
God damn.
You know how much money that is to put them through school? You know how many Air Jordan 6 black kids wear?
I see you popping bottle. Poop, poop, poop.
I'm doing fine.
What the fuck I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? Man, don't leave bad taste in everybody's fucking mouth, dude.
Everyone loves chicken.
What?
Don't be proud of your ignorance. Now tell me something good.
The Lord got me, homie.
It's really nice.
God got me, homie. That's why I'm still here and everything, dude.
OriginieSounds. What the hell?
Fish. I'm just wondering what kind of meat they are eating.
OriginieSounds.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay?
Some very vital, unconventional details on what Negroes, or rather African Americans.
So you saying we was here before the white man
Yes,
got here?
yes, definitely. Well, how would you constitute? How would you constitute the Olmecs? How would you know? Right, and Blackfoot. You see what I'm saying? So no, that's another history. That's another history that we were here, and the whole concept of not only us. So that whole African American thing is to omit, you see, the indigenous black man of this particular land too.
Just after his return from crossing the waters, Malcolm X revealed some very vital, unconventional details on what Negroes, or rather African Americans, were truly considered to be as a nationality of race prior to being called or labeled a Negro.
Aborigine, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white Aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are Aborigines, but you don't like to be called an Aborigine.
Malcolm X stated that the rock landed on us after he returned across the waters because he learned new things. He learned that the rock had truly landed on us and that we were from these lands. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. also stated in his I Have a Dream speech that we are held in exile in our own homeland.
The Negro is still languishing
walls of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land.
Now we have a lot of scholars out there and individuals are missing the point. How can you be held in exile in your own homeland without it being your own homeland? The tens of millions of black Americans, or rather Indians, who disappeared in 1492 did not all die in the Holocaust inflicted within America. Hundreds of thousands were shipped to Europe and Africa as Indian slaves. The whole slave trade story was given to all of us in reverse. A mass colony of Africans were not shipped from Africa to America. The truth is that black Indians were shipped from America to Europe. They were then shipped from Spain to Africa as commodity for African resources. These black Indians, now mistaken as African Americans, were shipped back to America and classified as African slaves. This part of our history is what the school systems failed to mention in history programs. The American Society was an organization formed in 1816 with the purpose of
an Originie classic.
Ho ho ho!
OriginieSounds. Showtime. Oh boy. Full video on YouTube. Bang bang receipt gang.
Ho ho ho!
Yeah. It's been a while, huh? Showtime? Oh boy. Yeah, it's been a while. And when you don't see me, guess what I'm doing? Doing a deep dive researching. And I've been given, I'm going to be the one to come out and do it and say it with a little backbone behind it and stand on something because like I've stated in the past, when I was young, I was in the Moore Science Temple of America. My antennas stood up and I moved on and continued with my search for knowledge when I questioned my grandmothers and great-grandmothers about who we were. Never one time did they mention being a Moor, and they were alive during Timothy Drew's life. Thomas Drew, should I say. Born in Virginia, not North Carolina. Prince Adept, teacher of Arabian mysticism in Newark, New Jersey, 181 Warren Street, but you would catch all of that a little later on in the video. My point here is to state, and I was part of the Moore Science Temple at one point in my life because I was seeking for truth. But here it comes to find out, after my deep dive and research, that it's a complete and utter fraud. Not to say what Thomas Drew did wasn't a good thing for people who were, going through Jim Crow, Reconstruction, so on and so forth, to have some nobility about themselves and to have something proud about themselves to build upon. But as I stated before, when I do the deep dive and the research, it's a complete fraud. There's no 50,000-year-old flag that has anything to do with the MSTA that was created in America. The way it looks is this cat even worked with a traveling circus at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? He worked down at the boat docks with a whole bunch of different nationalities and people, and you know what I'm saying, gained some knowledge. Oh, also, did you know Elijah Muhammad was previously Elijah Poole Bay? Where'd you think he came? You know, Master Farad Muhammad. He learned that stuff from Thomas Drew. Oh, yeah. Not the old Turkish-looking white guy called Master Farad Muhammad. But I'm not going to hold you. You can go and do your research, and I might lose some associates or whatever. Just remember this. There's no bunk beds and caskets. Born alone, die alone. Look in the mirror and see the God in you, and build upon that. Stop following and looking for a savior. Because I'm almost checked out. I ain't putting out too much more information no more. I don't need to. Save myself and my son and my children. That's the only thing I'm responsible for saving if I can do that. Because their spirit agreement, they came here and chose me to be one of their guides. So if you want to get real deep, but all I want to say is peace and prosperity to all of humanity. Peace to all of the copper-colored aboriginals all across the plane of existence. And know that you are part of the original spark, son and daughters of God. Stop looking for somebody to save you, lead you, and teach you. It's all a fraud, man. So, you know, shoot your darts and say what you will, but know what you're standing on. All of these sheikhs and shamans and supposed knowledgeable, and they always refer back to Noble Drew Ali. Well, he's a fucking fraud. If you do the true research, and if you stand on that, then you a cornball fraud nigga too. Peace.
We're gonna go into Thomas Drew, aka Timothy. So again, he was born in Norfolk, Virginia, January of 1886. What do we have here? We have a 1900 census. In 1900, Thomas Drew was about 14. Birthplace, Virginia. Relationship to head, adopted son. Who's in the household? We have James Drew, Lucy Drew, Thomas Drew. Going into the census, you guys can see James Drew, Lucy, and we got Thomas right here, and it does say adopted son. Birthplace, Virginia. Parents, Virginia, Virginia. Nothing about North Carolina. We continue, we got a census from 1920. The 1921 is saying he's around 34 years old. He's living in Newark, New Jersey now, right? He's a boarder living under somebody. Louis Gaines says, might be paying rent to her. He's single. And occupation is preacher. So just to go into the census, all right, so you guys can see Louis Gaines. We got Thomas Drew. And once you see this, you can't deny that this Thomas Drew is Noble Drew Ali. Why is that? We go to the part where it says occupation and it says preacher in public streets. Remember, he even said that, and we already know he was a preacher in public streets. This is in 1920, before he had gone to Chicago to establish his Moorish Science Temple of America. What are the coincidences that this Thomas Drew happens to have the same exact birthday as Noble Drew Ali and is also a preacher in public streets? So I hope you guys do not keep practicing cognitive dissonance. This is the real Noble Drew Ali. He is from Virginia. Another census letting you know Virginia, and this is all the way in New Jersey, so why would they put Virginia specifically? They had to have known. He might have told them. Somebody informed the census taker, but they put Virginia, just like the 1900 census says he was born in Virginia. So another thing I want to show you guys is his World War I draft registration card, which we talked about already. You guys can see it's Thomas Drew. Under address it says 181 Warren Street, right? Birth date January 8th, 1886. Thomas Drew, 181 Warren Street. 181 Warren Street. And just so we can confirm again that it's Noble Drew Ali, let's go look at Noble Drew Ali's Egyptian student added ID card. Again, Professor Drew, the Egyptian added student. Noble Drew Ali, right? Look at the address, 181 Warren Street, Newark, New Jersey. 181 Warren Street, Newark, New Jersey. Let's go back to Thomas Drew. Back at the military registration card, Thomas Drew. Again, 181 Warren Street, same person. So again, we go back to the 1920 federal census. Thomas Drew from Virginia, not North Carolina, is living in where? Warren Street. Warren Street, just like Professor Drew, the Egyptian adept, living in 181 Warren Street. It's the same person. Do you see? Do you clearly see? Do you clearly see? So real quick, we go to this reading right here from JSTOR. It's the Handbook of Islamic Sects and Movements. We're in chapter 29, the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is by Fatih Ali Abdad, pages 673 to 693. And we're getting into the introduction of the article. Most literature on the founding prophet of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Drew Ali, has either treated his murky origins cursorily or hagiographically, exaggerated and romanticized his roots. All right, exaggerated earthquakes, eclipse, virgin births. Yeah, they even said that. Recent fortuitous discoveries of Drew's pre-Moorish documents have enabled historians to reconstruct a more empirical count of the Moorish prophet, while tampering with Drew's legacy could open a Pandora's box with unforeseen circumstances that would bring no discernible benefit to contemporary
OriginieSounds. Bang Bang Receipt Gang. DNA tests do not prove ethnicities. Where's the African?
Ho ho ho!
OriginieSounds. Bang Bang Receipt Gang.
Ho ho ho!
Check it out, man. Check it out. See, the problem is, for years, brothers and sisters like myself have been trying to awaken the sheeple. Motherfuckers sitting around and thinking this is just some goddamn, pardon me, rock on trend or some bullshit like that, or Texas horns or whatever. Motherfucker, you use that goddamn tool in between your two shoulders, like Gibb said. You understand? Because until you motherfuckers can read the language of the evil, demonic people out this motherfucker, we'll continue to be lost. Bang, bang, receipt gang. I'm almost retiring out of this shit.
OriginieSounds.
Miss you because you haven't been around too much.
Oh,
Yeah, cause you know why?
Why?
I don't even hang around there no more. That's why.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Fighting and stuff?
Sitting in the house like I always does.
You retired?
Huh?
You retired?
I was tired. I don't need to be around that shit.
Nah.
Nah. My mother taught me, my father taught me.
Yep.
Say, don't
Stay
be
out of
hanging
trouble.
around with these guys. They don't do no but do drugs. That's why I don't hang around nobody.
OriginieSounds. Beetlejuice for President. 2024.
Who
is the president? George Washington.
Yeah. What are you Christian?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not Christian.
You're not?
Jewish?
Jewish?
I am a Jewish guy.
You are? I didn't know you were Jewish.
Oh yeah, I knocked a guy out one day yesterday.
Why? What did he said something
The
stupid?
old man, I knocked the old man out yesterday.
Nah, you would never do that.
Yeah, yes I did.
An old man?
It's like a shadow of the old man. Punched the shadow of me, knocked his teeth out. Yeah. Knocked his teeth out. No, after he got on the, I got on his skin. After that, broke his two legs.
Who is the president? George Washington.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
OriginieSounds. Showtime.
ho ho ho!
That's John D. Rockefeller's wife. Her last name is Spelman. Her last name is Spelman.
That's the man's wife?
That's his wife.
Look at Spelman down south?
Man, Google it right now. Google who spelled.
Go look this up real quick.
I never knew Spelman College named after.
Check this out.
Mrs. Laura Spelman Rockefeller.
Ooh.
1894, name changes to Spelman Seminary in honor of Miss Laura Spelman Rockefeller.
Let's not talk about Morehouse. Let's not talk about. Look, all these medical colleges. Look, you think it goes back to somebody that's black? They don't. All these medical colleges go back to subsidiary and basically names or middle names or third grand. These are named after, all these different medical colleges is named after John D. Rockefeller family. And you can trace them back. Just like you can trace back all the presidents to come from one entity, come from one bloodline, you can do the same thing with every medical college. Now, within the last 20 years, there's a bunch of new medical colleges that came up outside of that, which still follow the curriculum, but don't have their name. But when you start studying these names, man, they go back to John D. Rockefeller family, man. They go back to his family names. He owned these schools. That's why if you go and you teach against them, you can get locked up and persecuted because he sits at the head of the federal directors in the federal Supreme Court. John D. Rockefeller, man, he controlled the damn world, man. Him and the Carnegies. These are people that don't have no doctrines in medicines, but they have enough money to influence, because now you got enough money, you can put people in office. You can put certain governments in office. You can create the FBI. Guess who funded the creation of the FBI? Rockefeller did. He funded that. That's why it's an agency. He funded that agency. The FBI would not be the FBI without the Rockefeller Foundation family. He funded it. So what he did was he said, look, we're going to put money into the government system. We're going to put money into the school. I think it was in 1911. He created the Educational School Board. So everything that you learn from kindergarten all the way into college is actually the Flexner Report. Flexner, Carnegie, and the Rockefeller family came together with a bunch of scientists and a bunch of psychologists, and they said, we're going to create education. So whenever you learn anything in a public school system, you are being taught. You sitting on John D. Rockefeller's lap. You acting like he your grandpa, and he giving you game on how he wants you to be ran. Now, check this out. This is his famous quote. He said, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of what? Workers. So you go to school to become a worker. Who you working for? The pharmaceutical company.
OriginieSounds. Bang Bang Receipt Gang. Showtime.
Ho, ho, ho.
Showtime? Oh boy. First brother Polite. Now the Christian Moore P. Diddy. What in the world? Y'all claiming this one too? Track record's getting worse as the year goes along. Members of your crew. Christian Moore Puff Daddy, y'all claiming this guy here? MSTA, Morris Science Temple of America. Thought I was gonna pull it back out on you, huh? Bang, bang, bang. And another one. Take that, take that.
OriginieSounds. Bang Bang Receipt Gang.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, this how y'all doing it this year? You know, if you come in my background talking a bunch of bullshit, I don't go back and forth. I just put more info out. So this how y'all doing it now? Huh? Y'all got the Simon Janelle Monáe up. Woman wearing the fez and got her titties out. That's how y'all doing it? Boy, this bang, boy, this bang bang receipt gang, boy. Told y'all quit fucking with me. Keep exposing you, man. I'm on the inside, man.